Okay, so welcome guys, we're still revising. Now we're looking at question number 4. So question number 4 is coming from a topic, sense organs. Okay, now we have the human eye. Okay, we know an eye is a sensitive organ that detects light energy. Okay, so now the question is saying figure 4.0 below shows the external parts of the human eye. Okay, so question A, Roman numeral 1, is saying name the parts labeled M and N. So the part labeled M is the pupil. So M, pupil. N, that's the sclera. N, sclera. M, pupil. N, sclera. Question A, Roman numeral 2. Explain how N is adapted to its function. So it's supposed to be explain how N, but N is adapted to its function. Okay, so by adaptation is like the word adaptation means special features a certain structure or a part has to undergo its function. What makes that particular part to undergo its function? So those special features are what we call adaptations. Take note. Okay, so now explain how N is adapted to its function. So now we say it is white in color to reflect light and has tough connective tissues to maintain the shape of the eyeball. So adaptation number 1, it is white in color. So that whitish makes it possible to reflect, to bounce light back. Okay, because no reflection has to do with what bouncing. So it is white in color, which makes it possible to reflect what light. And we're also saying it has a tough connective tissue that maintains the shape of the eyeball. Okay, so take note. It is white in color to reflect light and has a tough connective tissue to maintain the shape of the eyeball. Question B. Question B is saying describe the role played by M and O when a person moves to a room with a dim light. So what role does M, which is M is the pupil and the O is the iris. So O, that is the iris. So they want us to describe the role played by the pupil, which is M, and the iris, which is O, when a person moves to a room with dim light. So a room with dim light, we're talking about a room which has low light intensity. Okay, a room which is not bright. Okay, a room which has only a small quantity of light. So now what role does the pupil and iris play when a person moves into a dim light room? So M dilates to allow more light to enter the eye. So the pupil dilates, meaning it becomes big to allow more light to enter the eye, so that you can see clearly. So M, just say dilates to allow more light to enter the eye. Okay, then O, you say iris radial muscles contract, because we know the iris has two muscles. It has radial muscles and it has circular muscles. So now when a person enters in a room with dim light, the radial muscles contracts while the circular muscles they relax, causing the pupil to dilate. So this one is supposed to say iris radial muscles contracts while the circular muscles relax to dilate the pupil. Iris radial muscles contracts while the circular muscles relax to dilate the pupil. Okay, so those are the roles played by these two parts. Okay, question C. Explain the cause. Explain the cause of short-sightedness and how it can be controlled. So they want us to explain the cause of short sight and how short sight uh, could be controlled. Okay, so short sight is also called the myopia. Then long sight is called the hypermetropia. So short sight is also called the myopia. Okay, now the question is, how is this short sight caused and how can we correct someone who has a short sight? So the cause of short sight is by, so what causes short sight? So short sight is caused by having an abnormally large eyeball and having a permanent thick lens. So this one is caused by having an abnormally large eyeball and having a permanent thick lens. So that what causes what short sight, by having an abnormally large eyeball and having a permanent thick lens. Fine. Now this is where the image of an object is formed before the retina. Okay, so that is what happens during because of having an abnormal large eyeball and having a permanent thick lens, it causes the image. We know the image of an object is supposed to be formed on a retina. Now the image of an object is formed before the retina during to a person who has short sight. Okay, now how can this short sight be corrected? So correction, it is by using concave lens or diverging lens. Diverging or concave lens. By using spectacles with the concave lens or diverging lens, that's the way we correct short sight. Okay, so